The war between humans and the Valerians had ended years ago, but the memories still haunted me like echoes in an empty corridor. I had fought in the first contact battles when our ships met theirs near the red moons of Thalara. The skies were filled with burning wrecks, and both sides lost too many. I was young then, a soldier who believed in orders, not reasons. Now I stood on Valyria Prime, part of a peace delegation. My scars still ached whenever the cold wind brushed across them, especially the one on my neck, a thin line that burned like fire whenever I remembered the night I earned it. The palace of the alien queen was unlike anything I had seen. The walls shimmered as if alive, and the air smelled faintly of silver rain. The Valyrians moved with grace, tall and luminous, their eyes glowing softly like stars trapped behind glass. When the first entered the throne chamber, silence fell. All eyes turned toward me, the only human in sight. She was seated on a throne of living crystal. The alien queen, her presence was overwhelming yet calm. Her hair floated like strands of liquid light, and her gaze was deep enough to drown in. I felt an instinctive chill run through me, not from fear, but from something else, recognition. She rose slowly, her steps echoing on the glassy floor. Her guards stood still, unsure if they should stop her or simply watch. When she reached me, she did not speak. Her hand, pale and glowing faintly blue, lifted toward my face. I froze as her fingers brushed my neck. The moment her skin touched the old scar, I felt a rush of heat and memory. The battlefield came back to me, a storm of smoke, blood, and light. A Valyrian soldier had saved me once, dragging me from the wreck of a fallen transport, whispering something before fading into the dark. I had never known who it was. Her eyes widened. Her breath caught. Her voice trembled like distant thunder. So it was you after all these years. I stared at her, lost between confusion and a strange pull that went deeper than thought. The chamber seemed to vanish, leaving only her eyes and the faint hum of energy between us. You saved me once, I whispered, forgetting where I was. She closed her eyes as if holding back a flood of emotion. And you saved me too? The air shimmered with silence. Two enemies from a forgotten war, standing face to face, bound by a scar neither could forget. The chamber guards looked uncertain, shifting their stances as the silence stretched on. The alien queen raised her hand slightly, a signal that needed no translation. They lowered their weapons and stepped back. For a moment, the entire hall seemed to breathe again. She turned from me and walked toward the tall windows, where silver clouds rolled across the alien sky. I followed slowly, still unsure whether I was walking into peace or danger. Do you remember Thalara? She asked in a soft tone that carried the weight of galaxies. How could I forget? I replied. It was where everything changed. Her gaze drifted to the horizon. You were the soldier with the broken transmitter, the one who refused to leave even when the fires were closing in. I nodded. And you were the Valyrian who shielded me from your own army. I thought you died that night. She looked at me then, her expression unreadable. I almost did. They called me a traitor. Said I had betrayed my kind for a human. Her fingers brushed the edge of her silver armor. The mark of exile still burned beneath it. I wanted to speak, but the words felt too small for what hung between us. Years of hatred, battles, and lost chances wrapped around that single memory. Why did you save me? I asked quietly. Her lips curved into something close to a smile, though sorrow lingered behind it. Because even in war I saw something in your eyes that was not destruction. It was mercy. And I had forgotten what mercy looked like. The wind moved through the open hall, carrying the faint hum of the living palace. The light around her shifted from blue to violet, reflecting emotions the human heart could only guess. You carry the same scar, she said suddenly, on your neck. It binds us both to that night. I touched the mark again, feeling the warmth beneath the skin. Maybe it was not a wound after all. Maybe it was a reminder that two lives once crossed when they should have been enemies. She took a step closer, her presence electric, her voice softer now. The peace treaty they signed is fragile. Many of my kind still want war. They will not accept that I speak with you. Then why risk this? I asked. Because some truths are stronger than politics, she answered, and some bonds do not fade with time. Her hand lingered near mine, a silent question hanging in the air. Outside, thunder rolled across the alien sky, as if the world itself was listening. The past was not over yet. It was only beginning to reveal what it truly meant. The storm outside grew darker as the light inside the palace began to dim. The air was thick with energy, charged by something beyond weather or war. I could feel her heartbeat through the space between us, slow and steady, echoing in time with my own. The alien queen looked toward the distant towers, where the council would soon gather. "They will not forgive me for this," she said quietly. "They never forgave mercy." "Then let me face them," I replied. "Maybe they will listen if they see what we once were." She shook her head slowly. "You do not understand. To them, you are still the invader who burned their skies. And to your own people, I am the monster who turned battlefields into graves." Her words were heavy, but her tone was not cruel. It was tired, as if she had carried the weight of two worlds too long. I took a step closer, close enough to see the faint shimmer of light beneath her skin, where veins of silver pulsed like stars. "Maybe that is why we are here," I said, "to end what both sides started." Her gaze softened. "You still believe peace is possible?" I smiled faintly. "I believe in what saved me that night." She looked away as if fighting something within herself. When she spoke again, her voice trembled. "I searched for you. Across the fields of ruin. Across the void between our worlds. I needed to know if you lived." My breath caught. All those years, I had thought that moment on Thalera was nothing but a dream carved by trauma. But it was real. She had been there, the one who shielded me from the firestorm. "Why?" I asked again, even though I already knew. "Because you changed me," she whispered. "I was a weapon built for war. But you showed me I could choose not to destroy." Outside, lightning painted the sky in bright streaks of blue and silver. The palace trembled as the first thunderclap struck. She reached out, and this time her hand did not stop halfway. Her fingers touched mine. The warmth spread like sunrise through the cold. "Whatever happens after this," I said, "you will not face it alone." Her eyes glowed brighter, and for a brief moment, the weight of centuries seemed to fall away. "Then it is decided," she said. "We will face them together." The storm broke open, pouring light through the crystal roof. The guards rushed in, startled, but paused at the sight of us standing hand in hand. A human and an alien queen bound not by war but by something stronger. And somewhere in that storm the past finally let go,